Alright, hello everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about the next phase of scaling, which is using a lookalike audience. So after you have sold a lot and start building up a conversion pixel, you can now use your conversion pixel to create a lookalike audience. And we're going to scale using this. If you want to know how important lookalike audience is, in my Pi campaign, lookalike audience account for 60 to 70% of total sales. So imagine if at that time I didn't know the method I'm going to show you, I would have left a lot of money on the table. So here are the steps of how we're gonna do it. First, you create a lookalike audience from your conversion pixel. I think it needs around 100 conversion pixel before you can create a lookalike audience. Then we're gonna use a Power Editor to create your ads, because Power Editor makes your jobs easier when you are going to duplicate your ad sets. Since you are going to create a server ad set for split testing purpose, then you're gonna intersect your lookalike audience with one broad interest, and you're gonna segment on placement, gender, and age group. All right, let's go to Facebook Ads Manager. You go to audiences. So we're gonna create a lookalike audience. Then you create audience, lookalike audience. All right, so source, you type in your conversion pixel name, Auris Fantasy. All right, remember to choose conversion pixel instead of website custom audience. Then you choose United States. And the size, remember to always aim for the smallest one, because the smaller audience most closely match your source audience. Then create audience. Alright, this can create a duplicate lookalike because I've already created one. Alright, so this is how we create a lookalike audience using your conversion pixel. Then we go to Facebook Ads Manager Power Editor. Remember to always download your campaigns to Power Editor before you start using it. So choose within the past week for the best performance, and then you click download. Then we download all your campaigns here, right? So I delete this first. This is for testing. All right. Then you create a new ads. Let's create a new campaign. I'm gonna use a page post engagement. Let's name this campaign Auris Fantasy PPE lookalike audience, or just name it PPELA. And then choose an ad set. I'll name it lookalike audience PPE. Okay, later we'll change the name. Okay, just put a name, create. Then Facebook page, you choose one and use existing post. And then we go to ad set first. I'm gonna delete this. Okay, so we are going to edit the audience. Location, United States. And the custom audience here, you choose lookalike, and then Auris Fantasy. This is what we create, right? So this has a potential reach of 2,300,000 people. Then you tune in the age. So I'm gonna segment this based on placement, gender, and age group. So I'm gonna separate mobile and desktop, and then male and female. But for this campaign, since I'm targeting female, so I stick to female. And age group, I will group it accordingly to how Facebook group the age: 35 to 34, 35 to 44. And 65 plus. All right, let's check our audience for artists or painting. Alright, so we can see here that most of the audience is 45 to 65. I'm going to choose these 4 age groups from 35 to 65 plus. This is the look-alike audience that we're going to create, which is mobile, female, 35 to 44, and then mobile female 45 to 54, mobile female 55 to 64, and mobile female 65 plus. Then I will create the same gender and age group for desktop. So this is what we're gonna create for our lookalike audience. Let's start with this one, mobile female 35 to 44. And then we're gonna intersect it with a broad interest. So you can search for broad interests that are related to artists or painters, like wall painting. Alright, now you see that the audience is tuned down to 78,000 people. Alright, save. So we're gonna name this ad set accordingly to the group that we target, which is look LA for lookalike audience, and then the interest, wall painting, mobile female 35 to 44. The placement, we set it to mobile, so we'll remove this. Then we set the budget per day for $5. Then we go back to the ads and name it just like the ad set. Then I'm gonna copy this and paste this in the URL text, but without space, so I just put. Alright, then use existing pixel. I'm gonna use my pixel Artist Fantasy. Alright, so here it is. We have done for the first one. Then let's copy this ad set for the rest, for the 3 here. Right, this is very easy using Power Editor. So you just click this and then duplicate. Choose a campaign, use existing, and then you change this to 45 to 54. The edit audience from 45 to 54, and then just keep the rest the same. All right, save. Then you duplicate another one and change the age to 55 to 64. Just edit the audience accordingly. All right, save, and do another one for 65 plus. All right, then you highlight these 3 and we go to a few ads. Just follow the same, 45 to 54 or 55 to 64 and 65 plus. Right, and then you just change the URL text accordingly. Okay. Few sets. Alright, so you have finished these 4 lookalike audience here. Next, we're going to copy this and change to desktop. Okay, so we choose these 4 and duplicate, and then we just replace this with desktop. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Make sure you choose this 4, and then you remove mobile and click on desktop. Alright, we're gonna erase this. Then remember to go to the ads, view ads, and change this to desktop. And also the URL tag. Alright, very simple using a Power Editor. So now you have finished creating these 8 ad sets for lookalike audience split testing. So we have these 8 ad sets with $5 budget each to run, and you're gonna manage, optimize and scale using the exact same method which I cover in scaling part 1. After that, if you want to create another lookalike audience with another broad interest, the quick way to do it is you choose the same gender and age group but different placement, and then you duplicate. Then you go to edit audience and change the interest here to another broad interest, for example watercolor painting. And then just keep repeating the same to the other gender and age group. After that, you change the oil painting here to watercolor painting. Alright, then always remember to go to the ads section, and then you change the name accordingly, change the water painting, and then you change the URL text with a water painting. Alright, so this is the exact method that I use in scaling my Pi campaigns in creating this lookalike audience. So the key point is that lookalike audience is very important. It accounts for 60 to 70% of my sales. So you always have to use lookalike audience to scale your campaign. And the way you scale it is exactly the same method as the one I have explained in scaling part 1. Alright, after you have done all this, remember to upload changes so that your ads will be updated. Alright, I hope it makes sense, and see you in the next video.